Hi guys! This is the fifth module of our course, and in this module we aim to give some tips for the realization of a good fertilizer program. Farmers must comply with the directives that reduce nutrients in soil and water, which include the Nitrates Directive and the Water Framework Directive. In the strategic plans of the new CAP, public support will be linked to the eco schemes with improvements in fertilization practices. The development of individual fertilization programs will adjust the actual contribution of nutrients to the needs of the crops, minimizing their losses and impact on the environment. A fertilization program will take into account the nutritional value of the products produced by the farmer. First, the organic matter and residues will be applied, and nitrogen fertilizer will be used as a complement. The most appropriate and efficient fertilizer will be selected. The dose will be calculated based on the time that can elapse until the plant absorbs it, considering the characteristics of the soil, the climate, and the nutritional needs of the crop. Nitrogen interacts with the other macronutrients, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, and micronutrients necessary to detect the appearance of deficiencies. Fertilizer applications will be carried out according to the schedule of nutrients absorption by the crop. Fractional applications may be necessary, especially in winter crops, to maximize nutrient absorption and prevent losses. The fertilizer will be applied precisely, using the most appropriate technique. The sprayers or other spraying machines will be calibrated to facilitate even distribution in the field. The fertilization program should be reviewed if weather conditions become extreme or the growth and development of the crop is interrupted. To carry out a good fertilization program, we must take into account the following recommendations of the Code of Good Agricultural Practices that help the farmer to produce in the most efficient way. Avoid inappropriate times, large slopes, and flooded or frozen soils. Respect distance near the watercourses. Maintain the capacity of manure ponds to prevent runoff and water contamination. Follow applications in an homogeneous manner. Apply crop rotations and maintain vegetation cover. The implementation of a fertilizer plan should consider existing nutrient level in the soil, plant growth and nutritional status, soil characteristics, and irrigation water. The fertilizer program must be carried out for each plot that meets the agronomic conditions, with the same soil and climate characteristics. This is known as the homogeneous production unit. Remember, organic or mineral fertilizers may not be applied when they may cause direct contamination on the crops to be harvested. The recommended doses of nitrogen fertilizers provide enough nitrogen for tree expansion while producing maximum economic yields of high-quality fruit. The dose of nitrogen chosen will depend on the soil characteristics, yield potential, and tree needs, as indicated by the interpretation of the leaf analysis. This table is an indicative distribution of the monthly dose of citrus expressed as a percentage of the total UF to be applied during a vegetative cycle. The fertilization program should include a soil analysis. The plan should include guidelines on how to react if soil conditions are not adequate. The interpretation can be used to make decisions regarding soil, pH control, or fertilizer applications. As stated, to provide a reasonable dose of fertilizer to citrus fruits, we must first consider the amount of nutrients consumed by the crop annually, in addition to the efficiency or proportion of elements that the orchard takes advantage of, or the right time when the fertilizers are applied. Generally, the relationship between the element applied and its use by the crop is not linear, so if the dose increases, its efficiency decreases. This response indicates that efficiency should be calculated for the dose considered agronomically optimal for a crop, with certain cultural practices. For the most commonly used fertilizers, recommendations can be obtained based on planting age, cap diameter, planting density, and production, for example. Therefore, the conditions of each site require technical advice. And I think that's it. So thank you for listening to us and hope you enjoy. Bye.
The Life LiberniTrate project has received funding from the LIFE program of the European Union.